So this is Bob Corbin, World War II veteran and successfully escaped from Stalag 13. My name is Todd Doyle. I'm interviewing him for the book that we're going to write.
Can't thank you all enough for being here tonight. I see a bunch of old friends. I see friends from Normandy Church, from the Bridge Group, from Dorks, which is a very important group. It's called it. Turn the mic on. We can do that. There, how's that? Okay. And the Dorks is a very important group of people. There's a bunch of old fellows like me who get together Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for coffee and donuts at various coffee shops. And Dork stands for Donuts of a Rare Kind Society. It's a very exclusive group. You probably never heard of it. I appreciate all of you people coming out. There's some old friends came here I haven't seen for years and so forth. I'm going to get right into my story. In World War II, I was an artillery officer with the 84th Infantry Division, and I was what you call a forward observer. And a forward observer is a fellow who goes up in front with the infantry and is embedded with the infantry and helps direct fire to help the infantry fight battles, either defensively or offensively, depending on whatever it is. The day after Thanksgiving, 1944, we were in the northern western part of Germany, up near just east of Aachen. And Aachen is a city in Belgium, but actually it's very close to the German border. And I was going up to the front to relieve my counterpart, the other member of our battery who also was a forward observer, Lieutenant Hendrickson, better known as the Judge. He was a lawyer from Texas, and he was a very low-key, quiet guy, never seemed to get excited. And he was up there, and I was going up and relieving him. Before I went up, they asked me if I'd take the Padre up to the regimental, up from the regimental headquarters. So I drove by the regimental headquarters, picked up the Padre, and we drove up to a little town called Jerinsweiler, Germany. And we drove into Jerinsweiler. We were looking for the observation post, the headquarters of the infantry and so forth. And we passed this little cul-de-sac that it was located in and drove out to the edge of town. And as we drove out, we realized we'd gone too far, and so we stopped and backed up and got ready to go the other way, and there was a mortar barrage coming over from the Germans right at that time, and just as we backed up and got ready to move forward, whap, a mortar landed right there. I mean, mortars, as you know, are very high trajectory, short-range shells, and that shell missed my head by about a foot. But you know what? I had the Padre with me, and God was looking out for the Padre, and the shell didn't go off. It was a dud. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first of many incidents I'm going to tell you about today, where I firmly believe God was looking over my shoulder, because I had an awful lot of close shaves that could have gone either way. And I came out right on. The lieutenant came in from the front, which was about 200 or 300 yards in front of us there, and said, "We just captured a German pillbox. Now, where we are located, we're in what is known as the German Siegfried Line, which was a defensive line the Germans used to defeat the French. The French had something called the Maginot Line, which had a lot of underground tunnels and so on like that. The Germans had a defensive line that was up above the ground, but they had 6-foot thick walls and pillboxes and bunkers and tank traps and so on like that. And this was a pillbox, 50 yards in front of our forward elements. And I thought, man, if I could get up there, I don't have to worry about that darn hold-down tank coming at me anymore. And so I said, let me go up there. We had a captain with us who was my boss. He was called the liaison officer. He said, no. I said, it's too dangerous. We can't risk you out there 50 yards in front of the forward elements. Well, I kept arguing with him, and finally he said, okay. So the next morning, they sent a runner back, and he was going to take me up to the pillbox. And as we started out, he says, Lieutenant, he says, do you mind if we take a shortcut because there's a sniper on the trail? And I said, no, I don't mind. I don't necessarily want to get shot by a sniper. And so we took out and took around to the left about 25 or 30 yards, and we get out there outside of the little town of Jerinsweiler, and we're in a field. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, it's dark, and here we are in the front lines of the biggest war ever, and there's nobody around, except we three fellas. I forgot to tell you that I had another officer who was with me learning the job at Forward Observer. He'd been kicked out of another battery, and we brought him over to our place, and I was training him. This was his first training mission as a Forward Observer. and he was with me, and we had.
Can I ask the names of the other two men who were with you?
Well, it was Roy Carmichael was the officer,
Okay.
and the other kid was the runner.
Okay.
Came back and got us,
Okay.
and I don't know his name. Good question.
This little private who was taking us up. And later on I found out why there wasn't anybody around. There was a 400-yard gap between our left flank and the right flank of the 104th Division, which was on our left flank. And they patrolled that every hour.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, there was nobody there 400
right.
yards between you
Yeah.
and the rest of your guys
So
over there.
what happened was on the even hour, the 104th would patrol. On the odd hour, the 84th would patrol.
I see. So
and so we just sent an 8-man or 10-man patrol back
Right.
and forth just to check on it.
Just to cover it.
Just to cover it.
And so we start walking around, and we come up to a little hill, about 20 feet high, something like that. And the little runner says, "Lieutenant," he said, "do you mind if I'm not sure this is the right way to go." He said, "Do you mind if I go up on over the hill and check on it to make sure we're going the right way?" I says, "No, I don't mind, that's fine." So he goes up over the hill, and he doesn't get over the hill more than 2 or 3 minutes, and a firefight breaks out. There's machine gun fire, and there's rifle
You mean by
fire,
firefight?
and I'm figuring, boy, that's the end of GI.
Firefight means gunfire.
firefight means gunfire, right?
Gunfire.
Okay.
Yeah. And a firefight means one gun shooting at another gun.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Great.
No. Come on. So we walk up over the hill, and there's the pillbox right down there, about 75 yards. And there's a little ditch going down to it. And so we walk toward the ditch, and we pass a machine gun nest and two soldiers in foxholes with rifles. And we said good morning to them and started down the little ditch. And out of the dark gray dawn comes this guttural voice saying, "Hands up, come out." Now it's funny what goes through your mind in a situation like that. But the day before I came up to the front, I've been reading the Stars and Stripes. And the Stars and Stripes said these Germans who wanted to surrender didn't know any other English except "Hands up, come out." I thought, this son of a gun's trying to surrender to me. So I pull out my .45 and I put at him, and he shoots me. Fortunately, he only split my jacket. He didn't actually do anything to hit my skin or anything like that. But I realized at that moment he wasn't trying to surrender. He had another idea in mind. What we had done is we'd gone to the wrong pillbox.
Okay. So you are you had just walked by some men that you thought were our men.
Yeah.
And you said, "Good morning."
Yeah.
Did they say anything back, or they just waved to you?
I don't remember him saying
You don't remember saying anything at all?
I
Okay.
think we shocked him so much because we spoke to him
Yeah.
out of the gray dawn
Uh-huh.
and just walked right by him.
Spoke
you know.
English, and
Yeah.
they realized, oh,
And
we got
they
some
realized-
Americans here.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
going to tell you in a
obviously.
minute now that when we were captured, these two guys are right behind us with their guns on us.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
And of course, when the guy says, "Hands up, come out," the first guy stopped, the second guy stopped, the third guy didn't stop, and they all fell down in a heap. I'm not sure whether I tell that in this story or not, but that's what actually
That's
happened.
funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wake up. I still got my .45 in my hands with my hands in the air like this, and they're motion, "Get rid of the gun." So I got rid of the gun.
Yeah.
But it was when I was first captured. The thought went through my mind. There was only 20 yards between me and the brow of that hill that we just come over. Mm-hmm. If I could have gotten over that hill, without getting shot, I could have gotten away.
Right.
But the chances of that happening because this kid shot at me with a Mauser.
A Mauser.
Mauser, M-A-U-S-E-R,
Okay.
which is a pistol,
Okay.
a German pistol.
Right.
And there were 3 other riflemen right with him, with their guns trained on me. 2 guys behind me with their guns trained on me. The chances of my getting 20 yards over that hill before I got shot was damn limited.
Yeah.
You know. But I don't know what I'm saying in this thing right now,
Okay.
whether I mentioned that or not. But I mentioned to you the thought ran through my mind,
Yeah.
even though it was a dumb idea, probably.